Hello and happy Monday. Welcome to Monday Motivations. I'm Layla Faye, holistic life coach, and I just want to welcome you to my little oasis here in my backyard. It is a gorgeous, balmy, and breezy day here in Central Oregon, and I am just excited to come and talk to you about one of the number one pain points that I see women in all areas of leadership struggling with. I have been coaching for almost a full decade now, and I don't care if you're a school teacher, you're an entrepreneur, you're a high-level C-level management, or you're a stay-at-home mom. The number one thing that I always hear from women is, I'm busy. There is not enough time in the day. Our relationship with time can be such an awkward, frustrating, and challenging area of our lives. But I want you to know, right here, right now, that you are the one who's in charge of your life, nobody else. We live in such a time where everything is constantly plugged in. We are oversaturated, over-entertained, and we just always want the next thing, or we're running from one responsibility to the next, often really in a place of people-pleasing and performance. And I know that there are true values and areas that need to be accomplished in that busyness of life, and yet I believe that we can live in greater wisdom and true loyalty and alignment to who each of us uniquely are and who we're created to be. But first and foremost, you have to be willing to hit the pause button on life and really evaluate the number one resource that we can all take for granted. And it's the gift of time. I've been talking about time a bit, and I don't see anywhere in the near future that I'm going to stop talking about it. So I'm just going to warn you, if you're not interested in realigning your relationship and how you use time in your life, that I'm probably not the motivational and life coach that you're looking for. Because I think that everything that we do just so hinges on this intimate, intricate relationship. And we learned, in the 80s and the 90s to time block everything, to plan and to structure. And I'm all about strategy, and I'm all about working smart and not hard. However, time isn't something that you can block once or plan once and expect it to last, because life happens, am I right? And it's ever evolving and ever changing. And so it is so important to get your own personal identity foundations set. Who are you? What do you want to be about? Why do you do what you do? To me, it's never so much what it is that you do, it's why you do it that holds the most value, the biggest punch, the most influence and impact. So if you're wanting to live and love your life with a greater sense of joy, I want to invite you this week to take 3 simple steps. I've just written, you can check out this week's blog. It's all about the things that we can take for granted, and really about our relationship with time. And there's 3 things that each of us can do, and it's not a once and done. It's something that we have to continue to come back and be honest with in our own personal assessments. I want you to pause and recognize your own mindset on time. I know a few years ago I kept hearing myself say, oh, I'm busy, or people go, oh, let's get together, oh, I would love to, but I'm so busy. And I started realizing that busy is a 4-letter word, hello, and I was sick of hearing it in my vocabulary, and I really became super intentional to eradicate that from my vocabulary, and that took some major mindset shifts. I knew that I could no longer be in a mode of total people pleasing, that I couldn't just do everything that I'd already committed to. Sometimes our mind and our mouth overcommit ourselves beyond our personal capacity. Anybody out there recognize that pain point with me? I know I'm not the only one. So, what is your mindset around time? What is your mindset around your personal time and the value that it holds? Because until we shift our mindset and recognize our own worth and the 24 hours, each of us are given 24 hours. It's not like I'm given more time than somebody else. So shift your mindset, recognizing the true value of this gift and that your life really is what you make it. Right? We do live in a society that makes it really easy to have excuses. It's really easy to blame shift or play victim when it comes to our time. Oh gosh, my boss asked me to stay late, or my kids really need me to do this extra stuff. That's great, and yes, maybe those things are all true, and those required a little bit more of your time, but where's your mindset on how you value your time, and are you willing to make different decisions? So once your mindset is set on the value and recognition of the gift of time in your life, then it's important to reestablish your priorities. And I think most of us intuitively recognize our priorities, but when we're really honest and you make a short list, I know my priorities first and foremost are my own faith walk and my health, number one. Number two is my marriage relationship. Number three is my family, then my work, and then my community. And I'm going to tell you, some days I don't get beyond too far. Sometimes I'm just stuck on me, working on my own faith and my health and where I'm at. And then my marriage and my child and then work. And when I start to really use those as a priority filter, it's amazing how those influence my decisions. So one, we get our mindset clear. Two, we really recognize what our priorities are and allow them to be a filter, a priority filter to empower our yes and our no. I often, I used to really struggle articulating that N word. No. And if you want to practice it with me right now, no. It's so important. Sometimes we really have to practice that. And saying no was a really difficult thing. I'm somebody who wants everybody to be happy and to have a good time. And the reality is that sometimes we have to let people down. We can't always meet their expectations of us. And so when I started saying no, I suddenly realized that what I was saying no to was actually so I could say yes to my priorities. So when I say no, I'm sorry, I can't take on that extra project because I'm saying yes to my daughter and her dance recital, or I'm saying, your no is just the tip of the iceberg, and it's really empowering you to say yes to what's under the water, right? That the bulk of your life and the things that you really value. So when we have that priority filter set and in place, it's so life-changing. And because the third thing is you need to be mindful about your decision making. What decisions are you making? Ralph Waldo Emerson always says, the only person you're destined to become is the person you decide to be. It's right there, friend. Your destiny hinges on your next decision. So when your mindset is straight on the value of time and who you are and your own worth, you've got your priority filter in place, all of a sudden your decisions are naturally empowered to align with who you say you are. And all of a sudden life starts to take shape. And I'm sharing these three things with you today, and I know you may not even have the capacity to start this personal assessment and realignment today. Maybe a couple weeks from now, I know here we are, we're coming up. This is the final big week of summer vacation for many people, and we're going and moving forward to Labor Day, and so maybe it's in another week or 2 weeks that you're really going to be able to do this, but I want you to apply these things. Shift your mindset on time so you're no longer taking it for granted. It's so easy to procrastinate. Recently, I've had a couple of friends lose really close family members. And I can't even imagine. My heart aches for them, and I can't imagine their personal devastation and loss. And it's in those moments that life gives us that all too brutal reminder that time is short. We're only guaranteed right here, right now. Our days are numbered, but we don't know the number of them, right? So we want to take hold of each day and live it on purpose. I don't want to have to wait for those urgent wake-up calls. Because I'll tell you right now, those friends that have just gone through loss, I'm confident that their priorities are super crystal clear right now. What really values and what matters most to them. May it not ever take tragic loss or pressing circumstances for us to evaluate those things and to take the gift of each day as it is. So I really want to encourage you, make time to reevaluate your relationship with time, that it's not taken for granted, that you can embrace each day with a mindset of carpe diem. Let's seize the day, let's suck the marrow out of life and love every moment of it. You know, it is not, as you make these mindset shifts, I had somebody recently, after a conversation with me, they're like, Layla, I'm really choosing not to be busy. You know, because our lives can be full with the things that are our priorities and the things that we love to do. Because we are ridiculously in charge of our own lives. And so when we make those decisions to be in the moment and to love our life on purpose, I find that things get a lot more simple. And we start really liking even the littlest of things. This summer my daughter's noticed, she's like, Mom, why are you laughing all the time? Why are you always smiling? And it's because I'm loving the moment. And it might sound cheesy and it might sound ridiculous. But it takes time to cultivate carefree timelessness. But it's really a mindset and a place that I choose to live. Because this life is a gift. My job, I love what I get to do. I love coming alongside and doing life with extraordinary women. I love being a mom and a wife and a friend, and wherever I'm at each point in the day, I just want to be all there. I never know. I'm often surprised at what I'm learning or where my own character and lifestyle and behaviors are being refined. I want to welcome you to some of the same pleasures. I want you to live and love your life on purpose, because I know as you do, so many other lives will be transformed for the better. I know that you have a unique voice and a unique message for this world, for right here and right now. So I invite you, don't let your past define your present, and don't let your future rob you of what's here and now. Look at your mindset, your priority filter, and may your next decisions be so empowered that your life is realigned to live each day as if it were your last. Because it really is a magical gift. I can't wait to hear. Please post on my Facebook page or personal message me. What are some of the shifts that are happening in your life? What is it that you want to cultivate? What are the priorities? Because that which we focus on, we become. And remember, you are the one who's in charge of your life. So you make your next best decision.